I'm gonna call the meeting of the Architectural Review Board for Wednesday, May 28, 2025 to order. We'll do roll call first. I'm Andre LaFerrier, Chairman, Ed Armstrong, Secretary. Michael McGinnis, I'm going to seat for Tina, and Kate Calderella, I'm going to seat for Catherine. So we have a quorum. And I'm going to put the minutes to the end of the meeting. And we're going to look at sign applications first. And that would be item A, Mill Rock Gathering, an application for certificate of zoning compliance for signs at 45 Mill Rock Road East. And who would that be? That would be, okay. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're...
The place has been closed for a while, and we want to reopen it. We want to reopen the mini golf. I don't know if you're familiar with the place there.
Yeah, that's way in the back.
We want to reopen the mini golf, and the front, of course, it's going to be a restaurant. It's going to be mostly mixed, food, starting from hamburger, hot dogs, and pizza.
Oh, good.
And some Italian food.
Yeah.
We ran the place 20 years ago, actually, as a video restaurant. I don't know if you guys remember or not.
Yep.
And then we saw the business, we had other people going there, but unfortunately, we're not successful. Stay there for about 6-7 years.
This is the zoning.
Architectural Review Board.
Architectural review.
Yeah, you're here for the food farm to table.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, you can grab some seats.
So thank you,
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah, go ahead.
So me and my brother, we decided to come back and reopen, because we were trying to rent it, but unfortunately nothing happened.
Yeah.
And, we've been in that business for a long time.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, like you says, in our age is not the
Yeah.
greatest, but
Retirement. So,
I figured, maybe it'll give us something, something.
Yeah.
Yes. Sounds good.
The place is nice.
Family operation, Kate's, nothing really fish stuff.
So they just come for food, casual food?
Yeah, casual food.
What we did a little lounge back there, with the sofas, you can sit down, relax, you got TVs.
Yeah.
And, have some food and bring kids to the mini golf,
Yeah.
have a beer or wine, and
Sounds good.
enjoy it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe a bocce course, few.
There you go. Now you're talking.
Yeah.
Okay, so what you're gonna, from what I can see, tell me if I'm wrong, what I can see is you're gonna use all the existing sign casings and sizes and everything. So
Exactly.
that's already been approved as far as sizes go. Which signs are gonna be lit? The big standalone, the big pylon sign's gonna be lit?
Yes.
Okay, and.
And the one back there, yeah.
That one there's
Yeah.
gonna be lit too. Okay. Anybody have any questions?
I think it looks great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I think the sign's fine. We got contrast right away, it's pretty much what we asked for is a light color lettering on a dark background.
Yeah.
So because you've got to be seen on that corner, that was always my thought
Yeah.
when I saw that other restaurant there and they weren't doing well. It's a tough.
It's sitting in the back, so you're gonna have to drag people in there, right? That's what it is. So.
Yeah. But traffic's gone up on that corner a lot,
And
over the
we're
years.
planning to do a lot of advertising, so,
Yeah,
let
that's-
people know that, we're gonna be reopening.
Yeah, no, that's good. So basically, it's everything we see there. I don't know. I like the sign and actually the red and green go well, especially if you're gonna offer some Italian food,
It was
so.
very well, yeah.
Yeah, no, I looked at that. I was, happy to see that. I really have no issue other than the sign. We don't like them too bright,
No, it's fine.
about 1,800 to 2,000 lumens. I'm thinking that's probably what you'd want for an outdoor sign is about right, about 4,000 K.
4,000 Kelvin, yeah.
Yeah, because you've got some darker backgrounds here, so 4,000 might perk it up a little bit.
Yeah, 4,000 Kelvin would be nice for that sign.
Yeah, it would be good. So those would be the only two things that I'd recommend.
Definitely.
Other than that, you have a chance to look at it, Kate?
I did, yeah, I like it too, visibility, so.
Yeah.
There was another little sign, on the bottom, we took that off and made it small.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this will attract attention. This looks good. Michael, anything?
Is the mini golf existing?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, okay,
Been there since the restaurant's been there, actually, 25 years.
okay.
Just needs a little,
It needs a lot
Paint
of,
and touch,
lot of,
right, yeah.
lot of love, believe me.
Yes.
We got guys that have been working there for 3 weeks already.
Yeah. oh, that's good.
We're trying to shoot, if everything goes well, middle of June or the end of June.
Yeah, before July 4th.
Yeah.
The restaurant, it's all set. You know, the fire marshal was there, you know, we had to redo all the Ansel system, all the alarm system, everything.
Mhm.
So there was a lot of work to be done. A lot of work, a lot of cleaning, you know, so, but, you know, the health department was there. They were very, you know, very happy, you know, to see that. So, so far, I mean, it looks good.
Yeah, okay, that's good. You want to make a,
Sure,
Motion.
I'd like to recommend that we approve the application as presented.
maybe with the recommendation
Oh, with
to,
recommendation for the outside lights to be a maximum of 4,000 Kelvin and would you say
1800 lumens.
1,800 lumens?
Yeah, 1800 and 2200 lumens is good, but for this sign here, 1800 should suffice.
Mhm.
Okay. I'll second. Any other discussion? Okay, let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. Okay, motion passed.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Hope you guys come in and,
Yeah,
Check us out.
I'll be there with my grandson, to play mini golf.
Oh, yeah,
good.
sure.
thank you, guys.
He needs work on his stroke anyway, so.
And for us,
Thank
it's
you
so
very
much
much.
back at it.
Congratulations. Yeah,
Okay.
congratulations.
Okay. Item number 2 or B, farm table, application for certificate of zoning compliance for signs at 1596 Boston Post Road. Yeah, I think you were, yeah, why don't you move over here? Did you operate the Cantina Beach?
Well, it was a partner.
You're right, okay.
I used to operate Tequila's restaurant
Oh, yeah,
some years ago.
Yeah.
The landlord sold the building.
Oh, yeah.
They turned it down
yeah,
Yeah.
across from the Dairy Queen.
across from
Yeah.
Dairy Queen, yes. So we have a partner who opens Cantina Beach,
Yeah,
and we did all the 3 of us together. So he wanted to stay, so he bought us out. And he did a bad combination between too expensive and he didn't have the good service.
Hmm.
So he didn't make it. So he came to me last February saying like he's not gonna run anymore. He doesn't wanna stay there. So both of us are taking over, but with a different concept. We believe the community is supporting a lot of the farms around. So farm table is our concept. We're gonna work with the farms in the area. Try to sell good food, organic and fresh.
Nice concept.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I know it's growing a lot in the area, like Mystic,
Yes.
Having, all that, and all several did something like that. Pot pies, something like
Yeah.
you in your family you're looking for and it's not around. Most of the restaurants just sell French fries and fish and chips and all that, but
Mhm.
nothing like a farm food, like real good food, like homemade food.
I think someone figured out there was something like 27 or 28 places to get pizza in Saybrook.
Yeah,
probably. Yeah,
Yeah.
and another good feature too is you folks will be right down the road from Whole Foods if they keep going with that. And so you're gonna have a clientele on the highway of
Yeah.
that mindset. I think that's good marketing.
Yeah.
So as I look at this,
So we wanna operate with the same restaurant.
Mhm.
We're not changing anything. The only thing we're changing is the name of the restaurant. So we're
Yeah.
gonna do the same
I'm gonna
sign.
paint it barn red.
We're gonna paint brown red.
How about-
Farm, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's
Just
black,
Just
yeah.
give it- Right. So give it a nice look, like
Yeah.
a barn look.
Yeah,
You're doing your sign in black though. I'm curious about that. You want to contrast with this, the red? Had you thought about a barn red on the sign too?
The sign, the only thing we need the sign black is because the contrast of the light, because the light is inside.
Yeah,
And you can really see the white, and you can see from far away. You don't need to use that much illuminate to see the sign. So,
yeah. The only thing I might recommend on that, I like the sign, by the way, it's a nice, simple, and that's the whole idea, we like. Keep it simple because people are gonna spot it right away, you know, so I think that's fine. The only thing I might suggest is the typeface on the bar and restaurant. You know, keep it in line with farm table, you know, it's not quite as bold.
Like the same style of letters?
Yeah, so it could be a little smaller, but you know, the same style.
Oh.
It'll show a little more light through it, you'll have better contrast, that's all, you know. I mean, other than that, I think it's fine, you know. Again, you know, they're turning over a building for new use, but it's the same pylon sign, so.
the application, we did put the same amount of number of seats, same parking lot. We're not changing anything. Cantina Beach already got approved for all the numbers, and so
Yeah,
just have to
should be easy to just
switch it.
turn it, yeah, okay, that's fine. Hey, anybody else?
I like it.
Yeah.
I like your recommendation to make the bar and restaurant more prominent with a similar font.
Yeah, just so there's no question in people's minds.
Yeah.
Remember, they're gonna be on the road at what, 35, 40 miles an hour going by there.
Yeah.
You want to be very sure that they're gonna know what you're doing, that it's not a market. You know, you wanna be sure they understand that they can go in and,
In the restaurant, yep, absolutely.
you know. Yeah,
I'm sure you've thought about it, but, you know, what grabs me is, the chicken. I hope, you know, people don't realize that it's not fried chicken, you know. It's not a restaurant for fried chicken. It's a restaurant for farm to table, for fresh food,
Right.
you know. So I'm sure you've thought about that.
Yeah, we thought about that's like he said, we tried to do something simple to
Yeah.
resonate a farm.
Yeah.
And we really like the chicken because it's like everybody in a farmhouse has chicken.
Right. Right.
yeah, they're gonna have organic, chicken butchers,
Organic
I'm
chicken.
sure.
Right,
Maybe not fried,
right.
gonna be healthy about it. Okay, I'll make a motion to, accept the application as presented, with the recommendation that, the, portion of the sign that says bar and restaurant be done in the same, type style, perhaps smaller, but, a bold sans serif, typeface. That's all I'm going to have. Oh, and to, again, be sure to, keep these signs Kelvin temperature at 4,000 and the lumens at 1,800 lumens. Your sign people will be able to help you with that. Okay.
I'll second
Okay, Michael, second. Any further discussion? No? Okay, we'll vote now. All in favor?
it.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? It's unanimous. The motion passes. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much,
Good
guys.
luck. Well, thank you for
Yeah.
opening it up.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
Okay. Item C.
Me?
Around Doral Marketplace.
Thanks for,
You can tell us a little about the business.
Sure,
too.
yeah.
As I said, I think maybe they haven't heard either. Been up there.
So thanks for squeezing us on too, because I think we came filed last minute last week and
Yeah.
you guys were kind enough to get us on, so thank you. They're taking over, Dora Marketplace is a restaurant group up in the West Hartford area.
Huh.
His name is Dorian and he owns a bunch of different restaurants. If you've ever been to West Hartford, he owns Treva, Aver, Zahara,
Oh,
ABC Burger.
Yeah.
And his newest project is the Dora Marketplace, in addition to Casa Doro in Newington they just opened, and No Mames in Weathersfield. So big entrepreneur, actually huge success story, came to this country like 25 years ago from Albania
huh.
and really is just like done a phenomenal job.
Wow.
He opened Dora Marketplace first in West. I know a little bit about it because I kind of know him, but I go there all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm just a sign guy.
Yeah.
I should work for him, I guess, but They opened the Doro Marketplace after like a European market. If you've ever been to Europe, you know, you go everywhere, you get a coffee, you get a pastry.
Yeah,
And I was like, okay, yeah, everyone has that, no big deal. Their markets are just phenomenal. Like the homemade fresh bread. He brings in own containers of olive oil, specialty olive oil from Albania.
ooh,
He brought in some chefs there. They make this pistachio croissant where they cream the pistachio for like 36 hours.
wow.
And it's just fantastic. Like, let me forewarn you, when you go there, you're gonna be like, oh man, I did not expect it to be this good.
I better increase my Ozempic.
Good breads. They do like a lot of breakfast and lunch sandwiches and bowls. They sell their own homemade hummus from their Mediterranean spot in West Hartford, Zahara, and the hummus is fantastic.
Wow.
Again, don't work for them, but go there a lot.
Sit down as well as,
They usually have some sit down spots, but a lot of takeout.
oh, okay.
And I think they're taking over, what is it, 745?
So
Yeah.
we drive downstairs, yeah.
Yeah, and so this is their general brand image that they're going for. I left it off the application because in reading the requirements for the town, they typically have awnings on their buildings, but because they're looking to turn this space over pretty quickly, you know, they're putting pressure on me, like the only thing they're waiting on is signs and, you know,
Wow.
when can I hurry up? So I said, let's keep the awnings off because I think that is either not allowed or it's gonna be like, you know, more
It can be a
questions.
gray area
Right.
here.
So, that is not on this application. We already told them we'd have to refile for all
Yeah,
that.
you can come back.
But this is other than the awnings, this is their general branding they have everywhere. There's 3 pages of proof I believe you have. They're using the existing building sign here. It's pretty simple design, existing pylon sign. Again, we're just putting new faces on.
Yep.
The old business went and took off the faces, I guess, right after the lease got signed. So they're just empty faces now.
Yep.
When we got there and measured it. And then there was an illuminated sign here over the patio and they just use like a regular thin, it's a 1/2 inch black acrylic. that gets put there.
I measured everything, it's all fine. And
Yeah.
good, and it wasn't all that long, but you approved their sign, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because originally, as I recall though, he didn't do it. If you were, I don't know if you were here for that too. Remember he was gonna do one of those shadow lighting from behind
Yeah,
and they cut out the metal.
Yeah.
And then I was surprised to see the circular sign go up because that's not what we approved. That was the other one that we approved.
Mhm.
But that was,
Oh, well, good.
that was Atlas, so
Yeah.
this was fine, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, my only comment on that was, you know, and I guess it depends on how what you call those, they're actually doors, not windows.
Correct.
In the front, and, you know, we do have some restrictions on signage in the windows, but there's only that window. And I'm inclined to say that of the 4 panes, I think it's 5 panes, it really makes each pane 20% of each door.
If I could jump in real quick too, I think that got changed. They don't want anything on those patio windows at all.
Oh, if that's the case, then,
Yeah.
then that's not, then I'll just even stop right there.
They do want their regular hours on the 2 doors on either
Yeah,
side. but
that's fine, because
We
it's
dropped
not
everything there.
20 or 25% coverage.
Yeah, that's was my concern.
Yeah, I had looked at that and I thought, you know, I was starting to measure that, and that would have been the only.
Well, also those panes are kind of small, so I was
Yeah.
telling them like it's gonna make everything too hard to read, get it on, you know,
Oh, yeah.
it's just confusing. So,
Yeah, so no, that's much better. If you can do that with the end doors, that'll be fine.
Yep.
Because he's gonna want to open those up in the.
yeah, oh yeah. I was there today and they already had them open. Like, yeah, we're planning on having these open.
Yeah.
Like that. That's
no,
why we don't want
that'll be
anything on
fine.
them.
Are they keeping the outside seating?
Yep.
Yeah,
nice.
you know, again, this is another one. I'm
Great.
fine with that.
Yeah,
I like his choice of typeface design. It's all nice.
yes.
It's gonna look good and it'll fit right into that place.
It's a nice building, so it's nice.
Really,
Yeah.
It's beautiful. They like ripped up they're redoing even the floor and everything in there and like, it looked nice before and I was there today. It's like, oh,
And they got it.
Yeah, because I really thought it was like,
beautiful.
and I always thought it was a shame, but you know, it was up against that other one. Over where Whole Foods is going. You know,
Oh, yeah.
Forno. I think, you know, there were only so many, there's saturation point too, you know, of what kind of restaurants. You know,
Yeah.
between Luigi's and Forno, them, and then there must be 1 or 2 others that I'm probably missing, but
Mhm.
you know, when you start getting that many,
Right.
you know.
Right.
Then it's tough to build up a new clientele.
You mentioned his full serving restaurants. How many other Doro marketplaces are?
So this is, he's got one in West Hartford,
Hmm.
one in Weathersfield, one in Windsor Locks right by the airport.
Huh.
And then they're opening one in Plainville right now as well. And then yours, and they're looking in Avon.
Wow.
So,
Where's he going in Avon?
do you know the newer plaza, the marketplace by the CVS?
Oh, yeah.
They built like they built a restaurant where there was like a candle store for a while.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
They're looking at taking over that spot.
Oh, okay, yeah, that'd be a nice spot, definitely.
That, and do you know where the old pasta company used to be?
Yeah,
He told me he was looking at either buying that building or the other one. I told him the other one's better because it's at a light, you know,
Wow.
but
Good businessman.
yeah, they're doing really well.
Wow.
But I think, you know, you'd be impressed when you see it because it's like they do a really, really good job and it's really well run.
Nice.
They took over the old Bertucci's in Newington with his most recent restaurant,
Oh.
Casadoro.
Oh.
And like the place is jammed 24/7 and the food is phenomenal. And you'll go like, oh, okay, like you said, gonna have to
yeah,
go back to the gym.
Wow.
Okay, no, that's great.
So,
That's
No,
awesome.
I like what I see.
Yep.
You know, and that resolved the problem with the windows, so, either of you like to make a motion?
Make a motion to. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's not me.
Still second it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make a motion to approve this recommendation. For Doral Marketplace.
Second.
Kate seconds. Any
okay.
further discussion? All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Can't wait.
Opposed? No, none. Motion passes.
When do you hope to open?
He told me today, you know, what's going on? And I was like, hey, we've got the zoning meeting, you know, like they only contacted me 2 weeks ago, you know?
Wow.
And I'm like, this isn't even enough time to pull permits. Like, no, you gotta get done. And it's like, oh yeah, sure. Like, and you know, we're not working on any other sides at all. I will. But anyway, that's being recorded, right? I should stop. So he said, oh, we're gonna open in 3 weeks. This was 3 weeks ago. And I was like, well, that's not gonna happen. Today I stopped by and I talked to him this morning. He said, yeah, we're gonna open next Wednesday. But I stopped by today and the flooring's not in and everything. I was like, oh, I don't think next Wednesday is gonna be a
Wow.
good day. So
See,
I think like 2
sign
weeks.
relief gave you a little extra time.
yeah, if I got there and they were like waiting on me, I'd be like, okay, we got problems.
Yeah.
Nice. Well,
That's
thank you
great.
very much. Thanks
Very
for squeezing us in. And also, great job on your recommendations. I'm not just saying, I've sat in a few zoning things. And sometimes, you know, from our side of the fence, they're not giving always helpful information, but yours is, because like when we do designs with people, they're like, no, you gotta make the font bolder. Like, people aren't gonna know that you're
Yeah.
with a farm table. They're gonna think you sell tables. Like, you gotta put restaurant there, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
We did some signs for a company called Oak Barrel, and it was a wine and liquor store. I'm like, no, you got to put wine and liquor. I'm like, no, Oak Barrel, it's my logo. I'm like, I know you love your logo, you love it, right? But no one's gonna know. Like, think about everywhere you drive. It says liquor, or it says beer. You know,
Gotta be obvious.
didn't listen to
So,
me.
you know, a sign,
Right.
when people are driving at speed,
Right.
they want to know that, yeah, that's
Right.
it.
Yeah.
See coffee, you know, I turn in.
He spent all this money on these fancy signs, you know, that I told him don't get.
Yeah.
And 2 months later, like, how much to get a new sign that just says beer and liquor?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
No, and try and keep, you know, you didn't put it in the motion, but just try and keep the Kelvin down. a
Yeah.
little bit. Yeah, we tend to look for, you know, a little slightly warmer than 5,000's daylight, you know, it's almost too white for the town.
so I have a problem with answering everything like as truthfully and as honest as I can. Since those are existing signs up there, I'm not sure what the Kelvin temperature of those
Yeah.
LEDs are. But most of the sign products we get, you know, when we're working with any town, either they've got to be a certain lumens and
Yeah.
certain Kelvin temperature, or sometimes, which I don't think you guys require, like the gentleman with the black sign, they'll have us put a reverse print on the backside, so it blocks out that area. So at night when it lights up, the black doesn't light up, just
Yeah.
the letters do. Because, you know, sometimes the black will light up brownish in color.
Yeah.
So some towns have been moving to do that. But
That's good to
but-
know, actually,
Yeah.
but we haven't had that, yet.
right. But yeah, so I can see if any of the LEDs are listed what they are, but I know they,
Yeah.
you know, again, I'm probably answering too honestly.
Well, I'm just saying, just
Yeah.
our whole goal is to just.
Yeah.
Tone down the bright.
Yeah, we don't want that
We
light
had an
pollution.
issue with Big Y, okay, and we managed to cut that down, because they were looking at that from the space station. you
Oh,
know,
yeah,
You
yeah,
can see that spot,
yeah,
and it was a little too bright.
Yeah.
You know, they're nice folks, and we love the market, but
but yeah,
I'm pretty sure we control 745.
I did.
yeah,
It's probably the same Kelvin.
Yeah, I think if we did that, I think we're
Yeah.
probably good with
Yeah.
that, so that's why.
Yeah.
4 or 5 look fine. It looked-
Yeah.
looked perfect.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
yeah,
just double check.
yeah, I'll
That's
see
why
what's
it's
in there.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
All right, great. Thanks for your time tonight.
Good luck.
Again, next time I'm down here, I'll bring pierogies and everything from.
So you're from Manchester, right?
Right, right.
Yeah. You know, Bob Sulik at
Yeah.
Mulberry.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a real good friend.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, my wife taught him when he was at Avon Old.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
I think they just,
Mulberry's been around. He did that for his wife. They had that little pizza place that was just south of 384. There was a little pizza place on the side for a little while. It was the
Anna?
Sunny Side or something like, and then this place was a breakfast place. The Mulb used to be a breakfast place. And then he
Okay.
said, he bought it because he worked for Sodexo. He was one of
okay,
the
long time ago.
operating officers, yeah.
Yeah, I think, we just did Philomena's Pizza in Manchester. We
Yeah.
did all the signs over, and I think because those look good, I want to say Mulberry called this week, like, hey, can we get a quote on some signs?
Yeah, yeah. No, so I know Sulik pretty well.
Yeah, nice guy.
He's got some of my wife's art up in the.
Oh,
up in
really?
the bar, and he built the bar too. They always liked the Russian lady in Hartford.
Yeah, yeah.
And so he just got stuff. He bought old ornate mirrors. And then, it's funny, if you ever go in there, go in the main dining room, okay, you'll see all these beautiful black and white photographs, prints of bridges, different bridges. And one of the pictures is Lloyd Bridges in this from Sea Hunt getting out. He's got a sense of humor.
That's cool. Yeah.
So anyway,
Will do. Thank you.
yeah, good meeting you.
Yeah, have a great evening. Yeah.
You too.
Talk to you soon. Thank you.
Drive safe out there.
Thank you.
My next question is,
Yes,
was anybody from the Mount Vernon company coming? Was Joe Wren coming tonight, or were we just supposed to make recommendations for the record?
well, that's a great question, because this was all added on.
Yeah, no, that was part, I
the
think
11th.
part of the original.
They just are not here. Ed
Good.
Casella, I would think would have been here.
Yeah, at least Eddie, yeah, would have been here.
Yeah.
Because there were just a couple of things I had issue with on that. Because, in other words, they wanted a recommendation over zoning, and they're saying tenant signage, actual sign may vary. Well, how could we comment on it?
Yeah.
If it varies.
If
You
it's
don't know
not
what it
the
I
sign,
don't know what it is.
yeah. And also they did some math and triangulated it, but we do everything in rectangles and squares. So, this is 20 feet, and this is about 10 feet here, so it was really 200 square feet. So it allowed them actually to go to 40 square feet. So you had this sign here, okay, on this sheet. Then if you look at the big one, it's a two-part sign on the dormer on the other one. So which one are they gonna use? So I would, I mean, I don't know. Kate, would you have any thought on that?
No, I just think someone should be here to walk us through.
I mean, we could certainly, put together a couple of bullet points for Martha's meeting, but.
Where is this? Where is 13?
Oh, it's across from the Dairy Queen.
It's where the Mexican restaurant.
Yeah, the Dealers used to be.
That he referred to, yeah.
And this is phase one, and apparently they're gonna do, remember we saw the car wash in here too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's phase one for the oil, that they hadn't indicated
And then
that.
a car wash.
And then the car wash,
Yeah.
and if you wanted to see the car wash, you just have to go over to Route 85 Coleman Street. When you get off of 95 going toward the Home Depot, do a quick look on the
Oh, yeah,
left
it's
before
right
the
there.
mobile.
Yeah,
It
right
looks
there.
exactly
Yeah.
like that.
Wow.
It's the same, not the same.
Yeah.
company.
They have nice landscaping.
Oh, landscaping,
that's
but
good.
Joe Rent's involved in all of that, So he's very tasteful. Whatever Joe picks, I'm usually fine with.
Yeah.
I have no question about that.
Hmm.
But get him involved and you could be happy. But my only comment is the sign, because see, the dormer is a separate wall. Yeah, see?
Yeah.
And so I drew a little square around it. So it is square,
Yeah.
but they're saying it's 65.5 by 65.5. But the architect says actual sign may vary.
Hmm.
And I'm sorry,
It
that's
doesn't work.
too subjective for me.
No, it is
You
too
know.
subjective.
Most of the other stuff looks fine with it, you know, my only comment, I didn't really see any windows, but the windows, of course, have to be regular glass windows, they can't be the mirrored. You know, we don't do those. But, you know, maybe I can find it here, where did I find it? I saw the other one. There's the floor plan, the photometric sheet looked fine, I looked over that, that was fine.
It's a nice sighting.
Yeah, oh, no, the building, it looks nice. I remember the artist sketch there. That was very nice. Yeah, but. Let's see. So, over here. Well, and the site plan, the architectural plan is nice. Right. For the property. Phase two, if it's the same lot. You know, it's sure it's not. This.
Light fixtures will be 3,000 Kelvin. Internally illuminated, 6,000 Kelvin or less. So that sounds good.
Yeah, you can, for that, you can kind of live with that.
One of the drawings show where the second phase is gonna be.
Well, this one doesn't. It'll be right. Yeah. Here it is. See,
Yeah.
that's not the same side. And if there aren't enough dimensions out there, remember what that is. Because it's very, that's what they're going to go. So they are. Maybe.
We don't know.
But. Even the architect doesn't. So. I'm thinking.
Well, maybe they missed the fact that we would move to Wednesday this week.
That's entirely possible that they forgot. Tonight was the alternate night of the meeting.
Maybe they thought it'd be this coming Monday.
No. So, okay. Well. I don't know, let's talk to our professional. Here. Yes,
Yes, sir.
you're our professional. What,
You want to postpone the entire topic?
we can, we've done that before when people haven't shown up, we just simply continue.
Yeah, I think we have to.
Yeah, we gotta continue this.
Yeah.
Because this requires discussion with the individuals. We need more specifics on that.
Can we leave a note for them that we need more information on the sign dimensions?
Yeah, I can send them an email.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, see, the meeting, is gonna be for June 16th. Our next meeting is June 9th. So if they put it back on the agenda for June 9th.
It'll make it.
It'll make it. We can talk about it. We just need their bodies here so we can ask some questions.
And have them know that we need more information on the sign
Yeah.
dimensions.
Sign dimensions have to be specific.
Yeah,
I'm saying for the most part, it's gonna be fine, I
Yeah.
think.
other than
It
that,
looks okay. I like the design, the building and everything. I liked it when I saw it. You know,
Yeah.
the only thing that looks a little weird when you actually see it built are the vacuum cleaners. You know, the vacuum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
If you've seen that one over and
Yes,
It's- look spindly, you know, it's just looks odd. But it's probably very functional and you get more people have a chance to get a vacuum when they come out of the car wash.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I've actually used it, and it is very functional,
yeah,
and it's, you know,
part of the fee. you
yeah,
get
there's a
just
lot of
great-
feed,
Yeah,
okay, so there's a lot of reach.
yeah, no, that's good. Yeah, no, overall, I like it, but I just, you know,
yeah.
doing our job, we gotta do that.
Do you have questions about lighting also?
Yeah, we just want to double check the lighting.
Or, well,
And I saw that marked off there for
Okay.
the 3,000 K. I was fine with that.
okay,
What did you say? 6,000 for the sign? It's
Yeah.
pushing 5,000 a little bit. That's fine,
okay,
you know. But it's mostly sign size and that dimension of that
Yeah.
area. We need actually the dimensions, the actual dimensions of that dormer. You know, it's gonna be turned into a rectangle, but you know, we do everything with rectangles and squares,
yeah,
which only, you know, you have to.
yeah, the perimeter of the sign has to be a rectangle.
Yeah, that has to be, but also the face.
Yeah,
Otherwise, you have to get into your geometry.
Yep.
Well, you figure that out. Just bring your slow state. Oh,
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Computers now.
My slide rule.
Yeah. Okay.
I used to be a slide rule expert.
And I remember those days.
Back in 1972.
Actually, I found it easier to use the slide rule instead of my TI calculator. You know, it's like, what do you do with this? You know, you start to try and program it too, and you can get your math done much quicker that way.
Yep.
Kids don't know what they missed.
The good
All
old
yours are just, it'll all be AI.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking to your phone, you don't even need a laptop. That's scary when you think about it.
What the hell our job's gonna be.
Yeah. You know, and AI is pretty good because it all depends on how you phrase the question. That's going to be the skill. It's really the semantics of the whole thing, how you do it, and it will be that complete. Or you can take bullet points of all the pertinent, the actual data, you know, and just load it in, and it will look at that and then create. So we're going to try our policy manual for the beach. We're going to do one section. We're going to try it in half.
You are?
Yeah. Yeah, well, we have bullet point items of what we do, and you want to sit there and write some narrative, but we want to do it in a simple narrative that the residents can read and say, oh, yeah, you know.
Wow.
But it means the kids will have to learn how to speak again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that is. Okay, I think the last thing we have two more motions to go through. One, the minutes. I make a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so moved. And would you like to make the last motion?
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so moved.